Hello everyone, and welcome back to some more Shining Song Starnova with me, Phantom Zwei. Or at least the demo of Starnova. So, we last left off, we caught Julie fleecing some poor sad otaku in the middle of the, I guess it's the Akiba district? Anyway, let's see what happens the following day. And yet, despite what happened the previous night, Producer-san, what was this girl still doing here? She sure had a lot of gall to show her face here again after everything that went down. You... It's not like I'm fired yet. Besides, you sure took off in a hurry yesterday night. We couldn't even finish talking. Just what more was there to talk about? I haven't changed my mind. I'm still open to doing anything to make last night disappear from your memory. Please don't say things which can be misinterpreted so easily. What's the problem? Stuff like this is only natural for an idol management company. You know the saying, you scratch my back, I scratch yours. So what do you say, Producer-san? Why don't you put this unruly idol in her place? What the hell kind of idol this is another word like I've never had to say aloud, so I don't know how to say it. Nukige? Scenario was she trying to set up here? I once again rubbed my face in exasperation. I'm not going to be one of your toys. I'm an idol producer, not some sleazy AV pimp. You're still a man, aren't you? I'll give you the full course treatment. The whole night, all for you. And of course, totally complimentary for Producer-san. Was this girl for real? Just offering herself up like that? Julie leaned in on me just close enough for her scent to melt through my senses. Of course, even I had to admit that everything physical about Julie was absolutely stunning. It must be the way the Japanese blood coils around foreign DNA or something, because her face was the best of both Hollywood and Harajuku. Wait, shit, what was I thinking? Aren't you a little curious to get to know your idol better, Producer-san? Julie grinned softly, her lips slightly parted. I blinked and tore my eyes away, lest they drown in the azure sea glimmering beyond her eyes. But my mind was already racing. It was only my third day, and one of my idols was already trying to seduce me? What the hell have I gotten myself into? I gulped and held back the various fantasies playing out in the back of my head. Well, if you insist, I guess there's no harm in accepting. But you're still wasting your time, because a deal's a deal. Alright! Julie broke into a grin. Suddenly, guilt bit into my chest that I had to fire her when she was so happy. Wait, why was I the one feeling guilty? It's not like I've done anything wrong. Clever girl. But my duty was to the company. There was no way I'd let a loose woman like her into Starnova. After all, I still had my dream. To create the greatest idol group of all time. I shook my head and returned to work as Julie discreetly tapped her cell against mine. Then I'll be seeing you later, Producer-san. I shrugged, trying my best to look completely unexcited about her offer. Night came, and right on cue, my cell beeped. I'm under the usual street lamp. Can't wait to get to know my new producer. Well, if she wasn't going to charge me, I guess I had nothing to lose. Yes, this is clearly the right decision. There's nothing wrong at all with what you're doing. I met Julie at the appointed place. Not to say that it wouldn't be hard to reject her offer, especially given that he's not attached, but anyway. So you came after all, Producer-san? Before I could react, Julie wrapped herself around my arm. Well, I'm still not going to change my mind, though. Alright. We walked through the crowded street, Julie clinging to my arm like a love-struck schoolgirl. Hey, Producer-san, so what kind of girls do you like? What? Well, you became a producer because you wanted to be surrounded by pretty girls, right? Is there a particular type you fancy? You make it sound like any horny guy can become a producer. Listen, pretty girls are great and all, but you're not going to get far in the business if you're just a dumb animal. Talents are like products. You fashion them to appeal to a certain demand, and if you've done your homework, then you end up with a hit. Otherwise, both the talent and the producer are going to be out of a job. Eh? Well, I agree completely. You're just saying that, aren't you? No, you're totally right. You see, when you're working the streets, you size up the client the instant you get the call. Nowadays, all it takes is a quick web search and to figure out what a guy's into. And once it's go time, you just gotta play to his weaknesses. It's all pretty easy money, actually. If you... Excuse me. Alright. If you screen all the creepers out and stick with lonely pushovers. Has anyone told you that you're a terrible person? What? You said it yourself. Being an idol's not that much different. But you're not supposed to laugh if you're at your fans if you're an idol. You really enjoy doing this, don't you? Messing with guys' heads. Having them fawn over you. Well, what kind of idol doesn't want to have a legion of guys drooling over her? Besides, my looks are the one thing I'm confident about. So, does this mean that you're not confident about the other things about yourself? But I didn't bring you out here to bore you with talk about work. Come on, let's go have some fun. Julie led me to a Western-style bar. Japanese places usually only serve watered-down swill. Hope you can handle America, producer son. This is still Japan. Besides, men's bodies can hold more alcohol. Hey, let's get 2 shots of this. Vanguard shot. 120 proof. This little girl thinks she can handle this? Well, I wasn't about to stand down from a challenge. The bartender poured a neon red liquid into 2 shot glasses after I paid for the order. Like this. Julie held up her shot glass and entwined her arm with mine so that she would be the one pouring the shot into my mouth, while I would be the one pouring it into hers. All in one take. Cheers! Cheers. Julie sank the whole shot into my mouth. The taste of cherries masked the shot's most likely rancid flavor. After settling in my stomach, warmth remained in my throat, like all strong liquor. Julie eyed me with a mischievous smirk. First time you taken a shot like that? I didn't particularly feel like answering her question. Can't imagine why. Julie sneered as if my silence was tantamount to admission. Hey, producer, have you even had a girlfriend before? Aren't you the one in hot water here? Sorry. Well, I'm here for you. Julie leaned over and rubbed my back. Hey, I think we're gonna need 2 more of those shots. Bartender. The subject of Julie's termination became an increasingly distant memory as the ethanol-infused night went on. For some reason, Julie kept bringing more drinks to the table. Normally, I would have been dubious about her intentions, but the free drinks lifted all the stress from my shoulders. Several interestingly colored drinks vanished as my mind floated far away to a happier place. Hey, producer, are you still all there? No. With my worries gone, a sense of clarity came over me. I understood it now. In the end, all men were lonely. We knew that our 2D waifus were fake and that we could never go out with 3D idols. But we still wanted to cling to that belief. And if we sprayed enough money into our hopes and dreams, maybe we could keep the illusion going for but a beat longer. Alas, we knew it all to be a lie, but such a beautiful lie it was indeed. A lie worth becoming broke over. A lie worth jumping into a bed of proverbial spikes over. I don't quite know about that one, dude, but hey, do you, I'll do me. We all have our vices. That's the nature of this idol business, eh? All but the pursuit of an ideal, which cannot exist. What are you saying? I don't get it. Reality is a bitter thing. Or should I say, reality is a bitter thing. At a satisfactory state of inebriation, I stood from my seat. Finished? Yeah. Then, quite a few Julies approached me. I vaguely felt the sensation of being led out of the bar. The fresh air outside returned a modicum of lucidity to my senses. Somehow the chilly winter air no longer felt as sharp against my face. She's gonna totally scandalize him so he can't... Like, she has dirt on him and he has dirt on her. I'm assuming. Anyways, what a strange turn of events. What was this S-tier girl doing, clinging to my arm like I was some kind of hot shit idol executive? Honestly, I was a total loss as to what to do. In the end, I was just an unknown producer at an unknown talent agency. In other words, I was pretty much a nobody. I should never have gotten involved in this mess. This was exactly the sort of trouble I don't want to deal with. He's gotten pretty drunk. With just a little more, he'll have forgotten all about firing me. Alright, it's time to close the deal. Hey, producer-san, you think we should wander down the street looking like this? Eh? Isn't this kind of a compromising situation? A young idol and her producer doing something like this so late? Shit! Now that I think about it like that, it was a pretty bad situation. If word got about this, I could be the one getting sacked. Well, I'm sure it's alright. If we don't make a scene or anything, I doubt anyone will even notice us! Besides, it's not like we're famous or anything. We don't have paparazzi tailing us, trying to sneak photographs. Ah, I see. Julie pulled out her cell. Yep, there we go. A memento of our night. Cheese. She nonchalantly snapped a selfie. And that is her insurance, my friends. So basically, we can do whatever we want right now, because we're not in the public spotlight, right? Well, I guess that's right. If we kissed here, I wonder if anyone would even notice. Oi, what are you saying? Julie tightened her grip, sinking my arm into her breast. She bit her lower lip as her boobs squeezed together. I unconsciously gulped as Julie electrocuted my loins with a wicked wink. Danger, producer-san! Just kidding. She loosened her grip. Relax, producer-san. It's just a little off-the-record fun. As long as everything stays off the record, what's the problem? People do all sorts of stuff in the dark. They need a release, you know. Why drag that stuff out into the public when it can all disappear with the night? Yeah? Well. But I won't cause any more trouble for producer-san. I'll stop hanging out with other guys and devote myself to becoming a proper idol from now on. Of course, I can still make an exception for you, producer-san. It's always a pain whenever you have to kick a talent out, eh? Times have changed, and people start asking questions. Just think of all the trouble in the mass media lately. Eh? She was right that I didn't even want to touch that issue with the 3-meter-long pole. It'd be a lot easier for both of us if last night were to just disappear, In the end, I went home having decided that if Julie deleted everything related to her nighttime activities off the net and dedicated herself to becoming an idol, I would forget about the incident. Ha! It's not like I caught her taking the walk of shame out of the apartment of some boy band's lead guitarist. I'm sure nobody would even know about Julie's secret history if I didn't make a big deal about it. Probably. Anyways, I wasn't going to make a mountain out of a molehill by treating her little side job as anything bigger than it actually was. Just gonna forget about this. And move on. It wasn't until a great deal of time had passed that I realized just how much Julie had played me. Indeed she did. Oh, man. Sorry, my throat's giving out. I've recorded the past 2 episodes and this one now, all back to back, so. Probably gonna end the episode, but we'll go in at least 20 minutes in. So we'll go for a little longer. The next day. Good morning, producer-san. Oh. Good morning. It's just the usual lesson today. Julie went downstairs with a smile. Sasami poked her head out from the break room. I don't really know what happened, but it looks like things turned out alright with Julie-chan. It's still soon to tell whether things worked out or not, but we've come to a truce of some sort. She's still dangerous, though. Girls like her bring risk to an idol group. We might be unknown right now, but once Starnova properly debuts, everyone will be expected to comply with the code of conduct. There won't be any second chances for her. Make sure she keeps her end of the bargain. Of course, producer-san. Aki poked her face out from behind a whiteboard. Meanwhile, so I guess this is outside of the producer's view. Something reeks of fishiness. Oh. Nantan sniffed her armpit, wondering if Aki was talking about her. Classy. Not you, I mean them. You suppose Sasa-chan finally accepted P-kun's feelings? Eh? What are you talking about? I bet P-kun resigned his job at Golden Goats to follow Sasa-chan here. It's a secret love between an idol and her producer. Listen here. First, his golden calf, and second, I hear the producer was actually sacked. Honestly, the whole thing's strange all over. For them to suddenly be getting along so well, the day before yesterday, Sasa-chan could hardly bear to look him in the eye. Hey, just what's your relationship with the producer anyways? Relationship? Ah, like, have you ever smashed for? Shut up, you bumpkin. It's obviously not that. You used to work with him, right? Just how did the two of you end up here when you were signed on with the Golden Calf? Well, actually, I never even spoke to the producer while we were at Golden Calf. It's a big agency spread over 15 floors on a skyscraper, so even if we both worked at the same place, the chances of us actually crossing paths were small. Listen here, it's obvious there's something going on between the two of you, and yet you expect us to believe that you haven't even spoken to each other before coming here? Maybe the two of them are in star types? New types? Who can communicate through their minds? This is a reference I don't understand. New types. Okay, because she's an otaku. So yeah, reference. Got it. I'm afraid I don't pilot mechas or communicate through mind waves, unfortunately. Actually, it's more like he saved me from a bad situation. Eh? I can't really talk about it in detail, but I owe the producer a debt. After all, it's my fault he ended up like this. Eh? I can't hear you. Speak louder. I kinda get it, but I kinda don't. Hey, you two. Give Sasa-chan some room. I'm sure you guys wouldn't appreciate it if someone hassled you about your life story. Mariah, you're looking energetic today. Well, I wasn't up all night tending to middle-aged geezers with marital issues. Sasa-chan, let me give you some advice. I always hear one of two stories coming from men in the city. Either they're complaining they don't have a woman, or they're complaining about their woman. They say on average, a man thinks about sex 4 times a day, and considering how well sex sells nowadays, you think the real numbers are more like 9 or 10 times a day. The real world's dirty, men are horny, and women are dumb. Life ain't some shoujo manga. So take your mind off that producer and look out for yourself. Mariah sure got fooled by a guy during her girlhood, huh? Hey, don't go wiring my backstory by yourself. Anyways, I don't think the producer's like that. I guess it can't be helped. Girls your age look at the world with rose-tinted goggles. The goggles don't crack until you've been fooled a few times. Empty laughter echoed inside Mariah's chest. And looks like Mariah's getting flashbacks. Will you just... Not... Excuse me. Natan leaped away before Mariah could whack her on top of the head. Safe! Well, I guess the producer's not too bad. Eh? Mariah looked at Julie with a shock upon learning her compatriot had flipped sides. Don't get the wrong idea. He's probably just a Class A loser who got fired from his real job and washed up here. And I bet he's a stupid virgin, too. I can totally see him curling up to an eroge dakimakura every night and repeating to himself that 2D is all he needs. Ha! Anyways, I doubt he's a player or anything. I guess he's more just like a loser. I don't think he's got the guts to trick us, though. It's not like I particularly like him or anything. I'm just saying. Ara, could it be that Julie-chan's taking a liking for the producer, too? Tsundere Moron! Natsuki jumped behind Julie and split her hair into twin tails. As expected, Tsundere's need blonde twin tails. What a perfect specimen. Don't just toss me into a character archetype. Don't worry, we all need to choose our character types eventually anyways. Hey you. Araya eyed Julie. Something happened between you and the producer last night, didn't it? Well, not really. What? Quit staring at me. Ah, looks like break time's over. Let's practice. Practice! Suspicious. Very suspicious. It's turning into a love nest here. I don't really get why Julie is suddenly super into the producer just because she convinced him and like played him to have her keep her job. I guess just because she's glad he didn't fire her, but it's like, he's alright. But I feel like given her character, she'd probably be like, what a sucker. I guess not. I walked downstairs and entered the dance studio. The girls gathered around me. For once, I smiled and delivered good news. Looks like the date of your debut live has been decided. Debut live? Eh? You mean it's really happening? I'm sure it'll be super small scale. Someone pinch my face. This isn't a dream, right? Natsuki chopped Mariah on top of her head. That was a hell of a sound effect. Sounded more like she clocked her across the face. Ow! What the hell? Guess it's not a dream. You. I showed the girls a flyer for a live house near Akiba. Anisong Night. Local talent sing the latest anime songs. March 11. Oh, man. It's even worse than I thought. Seeing the flyer somewhat deflated the girls' energy. Anisong Fest? I thought you said this was supposed to be our debut live. I actually thought that Mika would be super excited. Well, since it would be too difficult to hold our own live, the manager of the live house has agreed to let us sing our debut song at the event. Of course, we'll be singing covers of Anna songs as well. I should have known. No matter how you look at it, a real debut live just not in the cards for us no-name losers, eh? Well, I still think it's a good idea. Since there'll be people there for the event, it's not like we have to worry about singing to an empty room. Mariah shuddered. Please, anything but that. Speaking from past experiences, eh? The beginning chapter where we work our asses off for our debut live and then finally stand on our first stage, only to discover that nobody's bothered to show up when the curtain rises is one experience I never want to experience ever again, aka the beginning of Love Live. I probably shouldn't spoil stuff like that, but yeah. So something like that has happened in Mariah's past, eh? What a tear-filled backstory, right out of an idol drama anime. It's almost as if you lifted it straight from there. Well, all idol units must begin somewhere, no? Well, I guess it's not too bad for our first live. Anyways, Anna songs, huh? Do you have a list of songs you want us to sing? Actually, I thought you girls would have a better idea of what songs are popular right now. Can't say I really know much about anime. Mika's too embarrassed to speak up, right? Unfortunately, I'm not familiar with that fandom either. Natan knows nothing. It's always the same stuff that's popular, right? How about the melody of Suzu... Haruhi. What era are you from? That's just pretty much ancient history now. Oh, that hurts. It makes me feel so old. I remember when it was new and, like, the biggest thing. No, if you're talking about pandemic squeaking across Japan right now, it's definitely Love Live. So we're an idol group who sings songs by fictitious, more popular idol groups. It's a cultural phenomenon, right? What's wrong with it? You have a problem? But I offered a notepad to the girls. Please write down a set of covers for the live. I believe 3 covers should be sufficient. Aki eagerly took the notepad. Okay, don't worry, Oni-chan. Aki-chan's got this. I let the girls work out a set list. We have approximately a month until the live. Please keep mind your lessons carefully in the coming weeks. Okay. The end of the day arrived. I thought it was the day of the event. I was like, whoa! End of the day. I walked downstairs to the studio on a certain matter. We'll go for the end of the scene. I just realized it's kind of getting long, but hey. Go to work. The girls had gained a sliver of motivation thanks to the news of the live. While they still had a long ways to go, it seemed like they were coalescing into something resembling a unit, with one exception. As I feared, Mika was the oddball of the group. Thanks to her one-woman fantasy act, the other girls were maintaining a wide circumference around her. In a way, Chunibyo were loners. They operated on a wavelength different from regular people. Out of all the girls, Mika was the most challenging to figure out. Underneath her fake persona, she felt like an awkward recluse. What was a girl like that doing trying to become an idol? Mika noticed me watching her. She actually voice acted that. I was wondering, you watched the most late-night anime of all the girls here, right? Indeed. I monitor the airwaves dutifully to learn the latest happenings throughout the kingdom. Then you could help out with the live. You must already know all the latest Anna songs by heart. That is... More importantly, which direction do the crows fly tonight? If eastwards, it means the Holy Crusade is approaching. We must make haste to prepare our defenses. Avoiding the topic, were we? This girl. She's obviously having trouble fitting in with the rest of the group. I had to do something so that they could all work together as a team. The Lord of the Night has a mission for you, lowly one. What the hell was I doing? Suddenly, I got agonizing flashbacks to my junior high days when I got into anime for the first time. I was such a dumbass those days, marching around school like I was the protagonist of some anime, embarrassing myself in front of all the girls. Ugh. Just the thought of all the humiliating things which left my mouth during those years made me cringe hard enough for my teeth to shatter. Oh! This one is ready, both in mind and body! She's just the most fun character so far. She's completely out of tune with reality. But hey, it's a game. What orders do you carry from the Lord? She was just going to play along with it? I had to push forward. This was for the sake of the unit. A battle looms on the horizon, one which could determine the fate of the realm. This one is ready to lay down her life. Then good, for I shall require your services in preparing for that bloody day. You are to prepare songs of the denizens of the late night to rally our warriors. Bring them to your fellow bards, and lead them in this endeavor. Understood? Mika's act shattered to pieces as soon as she realized what I was getting at. Ugh. Unfortunately, that will prove a difficult task. While I am well versed in the songs you seek, I am afraid I lack other qualifications. In other words... Mika outstretched her arms and opened her palms as if saying, "Just look at me." Years of staying up all night and sleeping in all day have made me into what society would call a human failure. No employment, education, or training. I can't approach the other girls. They shine so brightly that my eyes hurt. They speak so fast that I cannot keep up. I only have life experience in one-on-one conversations at best. Speaking to 6 other girls simultaneously is like playing on nightmare mode. It's simply not possible. The other girls shine? I hated to speak poorly about my own talents, but Mika was overestimating their power levels. For all intents and purposes, the other girls were just normies trying to become celebrities. Hardly industry icons to be dazzled blind by. But you wanted to become an idol, right? Isn't that why you're here? Inspired after watching a certain idol anime, I felt motivated to turn my life around by seeking employment in an industry which I was familiar with. But a successful re-entry into society has proved more difficult than anticipated. In short, I am not sure if I'm cut out for this line of work. I'm sorry. Mika bowed to me in defeat. Don't talk to me as if you're handing in your letter of resignation. Besides, what was with this girl? She went and signed on with a talent agency because of an anime? I'm sure it's happened. Did she even know what she was in for? I sighed. But I should have figured. Stories like this were rampant in the industry. I sat through quite a few interviews where some applicants would tell me they wanted to become an idol because they kept seeing how happy idols were on TV and how they got to wear pretty dresses all the time. Basically, girls sign on with very mistaken notions about what it actually was to be an idol. It's not easy to becoming an idol. Many girls suffer and get hurt. It requires devotion and the willingness to get back up after getting pushed down. While many don't make it, I still believe it's something worthwhile. Go me, leading this girl on like this. I guess giving these pep talks was part of my duty as a producer, but I always wondered, was I doing the right thing? Maybe it'd be better if they quit now, if they had doubts. Was it alright to lead these girls on when I fully knew that what most likely awaited them was a life of suffering and failure? Doubts crept into my mind. No, I had to stop these thoughts. I still had a dream, to become this country's greatest idol producer. Well, just like these girls, I had to give it my all to accomplish my dream. The road may be difficult, but we're all driven by our love of idols. That's... excuse me. That's why I can't stop either. Producer sounds more liable than I thought. Indeed. Your words have rejuvenated this one, Black Knight. The night is absolute, but we shall hold steadfast, for our lord has no place in his ranks for the weaklings. With that, Mika returned to her one-woman delusion. Somehow, though, I felt as if I had gotten closer to her. Actually, do you have some free time now? What say we make a pilgrimage to the Holy Grounds? Our mana reserves run low. We must seek the source of the gospel to recharge. You speak the truth. This one has been neglecting her mana. Holy Crusaders be cursed. So that must be the cause of my recent foibles. Let us make haste and seek the one truth. I thanked my ancestors that the other girls had already left by now, and entirely missed this scene. If a bunch of girls who wanted to become pop idols found out their producer was a Chunibyo-crazed maniac otaku, it would be the end of me. Don't blame me! Porn, anime, and idols were the three pillars of Neo Akiba, often all three at the same time. So it was part of my duty as a producer to remain in the know about what was trending. Sure. That excuse is as good as any, I'd say. With an enormous grin, Mika marched out of the dance stage. Lead the way, Black Knight. Okay. And that's gonna do it for today's episode. And that's the Sunrider poster and Sunrider Academy. I don't get the reference, the Putty something reference. Anyway, a lot of signs that are references here. Oh man, I think I'm really gonna like this scene coming up. So far, Mika is just easily my favorite. She's just fun, man, and I understand a lot of the nerd references because I'm a nerd, and I guess I would still call myself an otaku, even though these days I don't really watch much anime. I play visual novels for the internet. It doesn't get much nerdier than that, right? So, yeah. Anyway, as always, thank you guys very much for watching. I'll see you next time.